This is Hoodies. All right, let's do this. Quick swig. Let's try to, matter of fact, probably gonna run into the game. That's coming on at 8. Anyway, let's do it, man. Are we back? 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 Hey, are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Hey, are we back? Welcome back to another dope session of HOODIES the podcast. I'm the host of God Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Maybe not so live, but we coming at you, man. Yo, let's put one in the air for HOODIES the podcast. Word. Let's get right on into this thing, man. But before we go any further, I want to start off by just wishing everybody who's watching this right now a happy belated Malcolm X Day. Today's the 20th? No, 21st. So it was the 19th, May 19th, 1925, Omaha, Nebraska. Son of Earl and Louise Little. You know what I'm saying? Pop was a preacher and a Pan-Africanist. Mom's was from Grenada. She was a teacher. I think she knew a couple languages. You know, as Pop always taught, you know, as y'all already know, I ain't telling y'all nothing y'all don't always know. He always taught do for self, even as a preacher. You know, that's why if you notice, if you've read about brother Minister Malcolm in his latter years, even though he was no longer a part of the Nation of Islam, and even though he was still a Muslim, he was no longer a black nationalist, if you will. He went back to his roots, which was Pan-Africanism. However, there is something to be said because he changed his name. Of course, it's Malcolm Little. Well, it's Red, then Malcolm Little, then, of course, Malcolm X. He then went on to change his name to El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. The L sounds very, I can't think of the word at the moment. I can't even think of it. I got so much other stuff I'm trying to talk about. So forgive me. I'll come back to that. But anyway, so I just want to wish everybody belated Malcolm X Day. I'm into holidays that most people aren't into, birthdays, things of that nature. And that's cool. If people going to be making up something to rock with, making up something to celebrate, then hey, I'll make up my own. Dead ass. So anyway, man. Hope everybody's doing well out there. My condolences if you've lost a loved one. You know, my heart goes out to you. Just the same, happy born day if it's your birthday today, whether you've been here a while, you know what I'm saying, or you fresh out the womb. New life, more life, I salute you. Happy born day to you, man. One of one, man. I ain't about to go into it's a special day, y'all should know that by now. Word. I don't have a whole lot to talk about in the intro. Not a whole lot. In fact, I don't want to make my intro so long. I do, however, want to continue to send some more warm energy out to Brother Ozell, the Skill Youth Chess Club's volunteer. I'll find a way to keep this hat still. Got a lot of hair. But shout out to Brother Ozell, man. I want to send you some warm, good energy, some healing energy to you and your family. Who Brother Ozell is still laboring through some not so good health. Brother Ozell, if you can feel this, brother, if you can feel this, you know, we with you. You know, we with you. We send you some warm energy. You know, we wish you and your family abundance and healing and safety and all that good stuff. Ashe. Word. Yeah, once again, shout out to Brother Ozell. We miss the brother. We miss him. We miss his energy. We miss his expertise, his knowledge, and all that good stuff, man. So, yeah, man. How y'all doing out there? Y'all good? Seems like I still got some more subscribers. I'm feeling that. Welcome to the pod. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Hoodies. You know what I mean? So before we go any further, I want to send y'all some good energy, of course. I want to thank y'all for sending me some. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. All right? Let's do it. Yeah! So tonight, listen, I don't have a picture to put up. I don't have a video or anything like that to put up. I do, however, want to talk about something that a lot of us already do, right? Or at least a lot of us talk about it. A lot of us talk about it, right? Well, first of all, one thing that we do is that we as people going through life, strife, and all those things, right? Oftentimes, if we have a series of events that happen to us that are not so good, some of us can take on a negative outlook towards things. You know what I'm saying? Get to a point to where we've been getting hit with bad news, bad energy, just some not so good shit. And we'll fuck around and internalize it and look at everything as being negative. We meet somebody new, that shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? We got a favorite basketball team, them niggas ain't gonna win shit. Just a negative outlook toward everything, and a negative outlook toward themselves. And see, one thing I know, I definitely know about getting hit with negative energy, just negative things, period, right? All of us have. But at the same time, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about we also have some good times, or things that we consider to be good or not so bad, however way you want to label that. But here's the thing. So we got these bad times, right? Bad times. And then we got good times. What I would like to know is, why is it the negativity that we take on from them bad times linger and linger and linger and fester, whereas those good times don't? Why is it every time something good happens to some of us, even in the moment of something positive and something good happening, we're like a bunch of Debbie Downers, some party crashers? Because it's like, yeah, this happened, but, something bad is right around the corner. Why? That's the shit I don't like. And if I'm being honest, I've been guilty of that at one point in time in my life. Not too long ago, in fact. I'll let the negative shit, the bad shit, weigh me down. So much so that I'll start to approach things, new ideas and such, with a not so positive disposition. Feel me? But then those good days, they don't linger nearly as long. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say we all do that. We all do it. We all say that we want to go within. We all say we want to heal. We all say we want to do self-care. We want to work on ourselves. Shadow work. You know what I mean? Because there is indeed a shadow self. Okay, the part of ourselves that want to hold on to that negative shit. And listen, the negativity could be all kinds of things. The negativity could be you not being validated. The negativity could be you just can't stop being a people pleaser. The negativity could be saying yes when you really mean no, which probably falls under the people pleasing part. When we think of validation, like wanting validation, I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm no life coach, no guru. Let me put that out there. I'm not a life coach. I'm not telling y'all this from a perspective of a life coach. I'm telling it to you. I'm saying these things as a person who's experienced these things, maybe even still, which qualifies me to speak on it. See what I just did there? See what I just see how I can catch myself? The fact that I have to qualify my reasons to even say what I'm saying. So that was good for me right there. But what is it that's missing? What is it that's missing from our lives that makes us seek validation on the outside of ourselves? What is that? Why is that? What's missing? What don't we like about ourselves? What we like to do is, when we say we work on ourselves, we want to bring forth all the things about ourselves that we don't want nobody else to know about, the things that we don't want to shed light on, and we want to work on those things. I want to say that the difference between that and shadow work is integrating all those things that we don't want to shed light on, all those things that we've suppressed. And be clear, just because we've suppressed it doesn't necessarily mean that it's, in fact, necessarily, it ain't gone nowhere. It's still there. We've just suppressed it. We've just pulled up a rug and swept that dust, that emotional dust, under it and put the rug, but that lump in the rug is still there. Shadow work, from what I understand and what I'm still learning, is to bring all those things that we don't want to shed light on, all those quirks and qualms we have about someone or something, and that someone also, being ourselves as well, right? And bringing it to the forefront and integrating it, and taking that subconscious trauma and all that crap, all that shit that manifests itself in our everyday life anyway, like passive aggressiveness and shit like that, and integrating it into our consciousness, taking it from the subconscious and bringing it into our conscious, to bring it into our practical everyday lives. So one would think, right, if, can I put this, because I'm still learning this. So there are a lot of things, like we can have an angry side. We can have a side of us that can get triggered by some shit, right? So the thing about shadow work is to explore that, explore why this, that, and the third triggers us, right? And bring that to the forefront and use it. Why do we hold on to the negative days? Or the just negativity, period. Why do we hold on to that? What's causing us to think less of ourselves? This hat is getting on my nerves. What causes us to do that? That's the big, that's a huge project right there, which is why I don't think I could ever get bored. There's too many things to learn, not only just about life, but about myself. There's so many layers to us. You know what I mean? Because of course we've got this persona. We've got what you see right here. And if you look at yourself, you've got what you got right there. But then there's that dark side, the shadow, the side of us that it could be a little painful. It could be a little uncomfortable. You have to explore why certain things or certain people make you feel envious. Why are you envious? Because it has to come back to some sort of deficiency in yourself. Why do we put ourselves in positions trusting people who's betrayed us before? And the betrayal don't necessarily have to be they took some money or screwed our woman or nothing like that. The betrayal could just simply be playing both sides. I see that as an act of betrayal. Two-faced folk. Just to be transparent. I work on that. I can't stand that shit. And it's also been said that a lot of times the things that we resent in others is also a trait in ourselves that also represents traits in ourselves, and perhaps that's the reason why we don't like it. That might be a reach based off my little circumference of knowledge in terms of shadow work. That seems to be a bit of a reach. And I say that because just because we create a boundary, something we don't like, I'm of the belief that we create boundaries because we get tired of being treated a certain way. So I don't necessarily know if that's a trait that I possess as well. I believe that's more so a boundary. I'm like downloading all of this in real time right now. By the way, shadow work, or the shadow, is a concept by I don't know if Carl Jung is a psychologist or a philosopher. However, he does have a particular concept, a particular type of psychology called the shadow, or shadow work. Okay. Shadow work is a process of exploring and integrating the parts of ourselves that we have repressed or denied, often because they are seen as negative or undesirable, like what I spoke about with people pleasing and things of that nature. This involves uncovering unconscious motives, emotions, and behaviors that we might not fully be aware of. The goal is to achieve greater self-awareness, emotional regulation, and personal growth by acknowledging and accepting all aspects of ourselves, including the shadow. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. All right. So I believe we've all got the gist of it. We don't like the uncomfortable feeling of, shedding light on those things that we've repressed, denied, because of being shunned. If other people know that we're into this, it's our quirk. It's our thing. It's that thing we do at home with by ourselves, or just away from other people, period. You know what I'm saying? But the object is to bring it, you know what I'm saying, from the shadows and integrate it into our everyday situation. So how do we tap into that? I just Googled some stuff to kind of aid me and help me out here, right? So first of all, we have to identify the parts of ourselves that we don't like or want to acknowledge. Okay? Only you know what that is. Only I know what that is. Okay? And it's also about, right, accepting yourself. Because I'm also of the belief that the more we do the shadow work, I think that stands a good chance of possibly eradicating insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Eradicate the need for outside validation. If we can learn to accept, hold on, my food's on the way. If we can learn to accept those things, the things that we deny, repress, shit we keep hidden, we can learn to accept it. We'll learn to further accept ourselves. You dig? And then, of course, integrating them into our consciousness, our conscious awareness and understanding, and just be a part of who we are. If it's anger that we suppress and hide, well, then shadow work would be, what triggers that anger? And what can we do? Like, how can we channel that anger? Right? And look, everything that we keep hidden, sometimes we keep good things hidden. Maybe we don't want to be taken advantage of. Maybe a motherfucker can be just extremely smart and they dumb down shit in front of people because they don't want to be looked at as a know-it-all, a nerd, or, thinking that they know more than everybody else. Because there are people like that. There are people that you can't be smart around. It's people there's people you can't even have this type of conversation around. You start saying shit like shadow work and this, that, and the third, and unconscious. Listen, I'm not about to sit up here and start kicking around religion, right? But, it's not just religion. It's also societal norms that causes us to repress and deny certain aspects of who we are. Religion also plays a part in that too. A huge part. It's divisive. You understand what I'm saying? So, going a little bit further over my guide right here. Right? So, why bring the shadow to the surface? Why bring the shadow into the light? Imagine moving, you know what I'm saying? Imagine moving through life, you know what I mean? And you being all yourself. Imagine moving through life and you ain't repressing who you really are. You see what I'm saying? Imagine in life having some good shit happen to you and really feeling like you deserve it. Imagine a life with no imposter syndrome. Like, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to have this. You're supposed to get that love. You're supposed to get those flowers. You're supposed to get that promotion. You were supposed to get that praise. Imagine walking through life being able to be in the moment. To be in that moment. Imagine having capacity to accept all the goodness. Imagine having the capacity to let that goodness and those good days linger and linger and linger. One thing in particular that was one of the best days of my life was going to the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. That has lingered for years, and that was 2015. That was 2015. That's 10 years ago. Damn. Wow. Well, October to be exact. That has had a lasting effect. Not the only thing, but when I think of lingering good moments, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Right? But we as folk, I don't even want to get race or gender with it. It's just we as folk, for whatever reasons, tend to let the bad days affect us way more than those good days. It's like, good, I get it. We have bad days. I'm not saying that we shouldn't sit in the moment. Sit in that moment. If I'm feeling down or having a shitty day or just having a shitty time, I'm going to stand in that moment. I'm not going to front to be having a great time when I'm not. I'm not going to front that everything is easy peasy, and it's not. I'm not doing that. I will stand in that, but I won't stay there. I will not allow those bad days to affect me too much. So much that I don't allow the good days to affect me more. That makes sense. The way I am now, and I'm not gonna act like, you know, I was born like this. I didn't just arrive here. Well, I did arrive, but after some time. Once upon a time, I did allow the bad days to affect me way better than those good ones, when it should be the other way around. But anyway, what was I saying? The benefits of shadow work. It's greater self-awareness and understanding, increased self-compassion and acceptance. Imagine that. Imagine accepting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Enhanced emotional intelligence and regulation, greater creativity and vitality. And listen, I don't really have to read any further to even know that that's a lifelong journey. That's a lifelong journey. We don't know what position we'll be put in tonight. We don't know what position we'll be put in tomorrow that may bring up some emotions we may have never even felt before. You know what I'm saying? But because of societal norms or one thing or another, we'll suppress that shit and deny it. So, again, I'm no life coach. I'm no guru, no nothing like that. I just felt compelled to, which is why, if you notice in the beginning, I didn't do my usual, shout out to everybody who's going through something that they don't talk to other people about. I'd like to use this, part of the pod, this part of the episode to say that. Salute to you if you are going through some things nobody else knows about. I also want to salute you, for keeping that poker face on, because you're still showing up. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as saying that in some shape, form, or fashion, we're all doing the inner work. It's just that Um, it's just that because I'm learning and I would like to pass that on to whoever's watching this right now. So while we're doing the work, which is super dope, that's dope, doing the work. Let's bring all that work to the forefront so that, let's accept ourselves even more. You know what I mean? Let's increase our self-esteem. Let's run the risk of eradicating insecurity because we accept ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Let's do the work. Let's do it together. Let's do the fucking work, man. You know what I mean? I forget what my demographic is. I think my demographic is mostly 24 to 35, something like that. Then there's, 35 to 45. And then, I think I'm popping just a little bit in the UK. You know what I mean? Not very much. But yeah, man, that's all I got to say about that. This won't be the first time I talk about this because this is a journey we're going to take together. Let's do this together, man. Word out. Because I ain't got it all together. I've never met anybody who did. Dead ass. Just know, though, in closing, that, listen, just because, some people have, and even ourselves have become really good at denying and repressing, those things that we don't want nobody to know about. Shh, don't tell nobody. Those things. Just know, in closing, that you can never smoke enough. You can never drink enough. You can never snort enough. You can never fuck enough. You can't run fast enough to get away from trauma and those things that we're ashamed of or for one reason or another. Got to do the work. There is no getting away with it because, listen, see, that inner crap, it's already manifesting itself in some form of fashion. Passive aggressiveness. You ever find yourself saying, damn, after you may have had an outburst or something like that, you ever found yourself saying, damn, what the fuck where did that come from? It's in there. It's all in there. Just stirring up. It's in there. So it's already manifesting itself. That people pleasing, that always want to say yeah, when it's really no, it's already there. It's already showing up. People already see it and already in some form of fashion probably taking advantage of it. And when I spoke about trusting people who's already shown you they aren't trustworthy, I've done that on more than one occasion. Like, I'm still in search of what am I missing? What don't I like about myself? I'm doing the work. We're doing the work. Let's do it together, man. Word. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on, man. Shadow work. Hold on a second. My food's here. Hold on. Word. Dope, the affirmation is fucking amazing. A weed it, rub my back in the war, cause I'm so fucking brazen. Here I be with a vest, 49 and fresh. H&IC on this quest, I guess. Alpha male of the pack, hard, I don't divest. Nah, I don't divest, that's what I acquiesce. I got bars from my bars, 45 for the rest. Little sharp, guillotine is made on the chest. I know it's the Maya, the Matrix, hard pressed. I confess, we vexed them through doing our best. Say less. Say less. Wanna talk about that monster that is. Hey, no. Man. A lot going on right now. A lot going on. So yeah, guess we don't need to do that break now, do we? Sheesh, my bad. Sorry about that. Testing 1 2. So before I go any further and anything about the NBA and the playoffs or whatever, I want to go ahead and send out a salute and congratulations to SGA. What's his name? Shy? No, it's Shea. Shea Gildress Alexander, SGA. He has been named this season's most valuable player. Shout out to the brother. Plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Matter of fact, it's them and the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. Man, the West is down to the last two. And real quick, for the Boston Celtics, man, salute to Jaylen Brown for playing through I think it was a partially torn meniscus. I know little bro, he don't like when players talk about their injuries or whatever after the game, because it makes it look like that's the reason why that team beat them. I respect it. I don't necessarily agree. Their season is over. They ain't got nothing to gain. They ain't got nothing to lose. They ain't making no excuses. They're just letting you know. And it's probably for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Listen, my thing is, if you're on the floor, then produce. And if you can't produce, then get your ass off the floor. So injured or not, it is what it is. So I appreciate the brother for, first of all, giving us a really good Game 5. We whooped ass in Game 5. So I thought I'm grateful for that. It was back home. Well, not my home. It was back in TD Garden. So I appreciate Jaylen Brown for that. Of course, the team didn't fare so well at Madison Square Garden for Game 6. And in fact, it was a blowout. It was a blowout. Porzingis still didn't. Nobody did a whole lot to shake a stick at. So shout out to the New York Knicks for making the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's been 25 years since that's happened. Shout out to them. Yeah, man, I guess I don't really have to talk about who got eliminated. It's pretty obvious. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, and the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? What is my prediction? I like both teams, man. I like both teams. I like both the Knicks and I like the Indiana Pacers. Once again, I've been telling folk about Tyrese Halliburton for some seasons now. I first recognized him. This damn hat. I first recognized him in an in-season tournament a couple seasons ago when it was the Pacers and the Lakers. But anyway, I like both teams. But here's the thing, right? Mad New York Knicks fans was coming at me, and I get it. The Knicks was playing the Celtics. I get it. But one of my clients is deployed over in Africa right now. And he didn't hit me up till the next morning, I'm assuming, because the time difference. So he hit me up talking mad shit. You know what I'm saying? Mad New York fans. See, if the Celtics would have won, then it just would have been that. I ain't even got to say nothing because, boom, we won. But I get it. A team, if you're a fan of a team that hasn't fared too well in the playoffs for quite some time, you're just overjoyed. So I get it. However, because of that, I'm rocking with the Indiana Pacers in this series. Well, I'm rocking with the Indiana Pacers, but I would not be surprised if the New York Knicks won it. But I'm rocking with the Pacers, number one, because they eliminated the Celtics, and because of their fucking fans. So because of that, the New York Knicks got to fall. I respect them. I even like them. But I just told y'all my reasons. That's my decision. They got to fucking fall. Okay? They got to fall. You know what I'm saying? They got to fall. But overall, the trade-off for your team not being in the playoffs is it's not as stressful because you don't have a dog in the fight. It's not as stressful. So I appreciate that for what it's worth. And then I'm looking forward to a pretty decent series. These two teams played each other, I think, in the second round last season. So I'm looking forward to that. In fact, the game's on right now. The Knicks and Pacers game. Yesterday was Thunder and Oklahoma City. That is Oklahoma. The Thunder and Timberwolves game. Thunder got game 1. Word, that's what's up. So I like both teams in the West as well. I like both teams, Timberwolves and the Thunder. But if I had to choose, I like the Thunder better. I like Anthony Edwards. But if I'm being honest, he's the dude on the team that I really like. I like Julius Randle. I've always liked him since he was with the Lakers. But when I saw him in New York when he was with the Knicks, I don't know, maybe it was the pressure, playing in the big market and all. Not to make excuses for the brother, but he's playing a whole lot better than I think he's playing a whole lot better in Minnesota than what he did when he was with the Knicks. So that's another conversation that I don't think a lot of people are ready for. Anthony Edwards makes his teammates better because from what I've seen of Julius Randle, he hasn't really played this good. Karl Anthony Towns, before he got traded to the Knicks for Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns was playing his ass off with Anthony Edwards. So I like that brother. I like his attitude because you're going to need that attitude to take over. It's time for them young bulls to start taking over. You're going to need that energy. You're going to need that you're going to need it. So I respect it. But I like them young bulls in Oklahoma. I like them, man. So I got them. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Timberwolves won it. But I got them coming out the West. So there's a very good chance that it'll be in the finals, Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. That's my prediction. I'm calling that. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's not a whole lot to say. You know what I mean? We already know what it is. We're down to the last 4 teams. It's been a great playoff so far, And I thought the Cavs would fare a whole lot better. But then again, I thought the Celtics would as well. So, yeah, man. Word. It's time for them young bulls it's time for the Jalen Brunsons. It's time for the Tyrese Halliburtons and the SGAs and the Anthony Edwards to start tearing shit up. It's time, fam. It's time. Word. What y'all think? What's your prediction? You know what I'm saying? Great playoffs, though. Word. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. Right? Something I want to leave you with, right? Since we're talking about doing the work, doing shadow work, and I'm going to keep talking about this. This whole concept in doing shadow work is something that I'll be bringing up for the foreseeable future. It's real thing this, right? But listen, butterflies can't see the color of their wings. But us as humans can see how beautiful they are. And likewise, you may not think that you're good enough, but others can see how special and how amazing you are. And that's it right there. Others can see it, and we don't. And a lot of that may be due to self-esteem, maybe the lack of validation, maybe attention, or whatever else that shadow version of yourself is lacking. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to the bad days more than you hold on to the good ones. In fact, I wouldn't hold on to the bad days at all. I would say take the lesson from it, throw the rest of it away. You know what I mean? Let's do the work. Let's do the work. Let's not do what some people do. They say that they're doing work. They say that they're working on themselves, but they don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to tap into those parts that they don't want nobody to know about. You know what I'm saying? You're just working the system, so to speak. You're just working the concept, if you will. You're just working it, talking about it and throwing it around. Yeah, healing and self-care and working on it. You're just throwing the concept around. You're just kicking that shit around, just the lookaways. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in therapy and you're not really being honest. The therapist is giving you things to do, things to say, and you're not using it. In other words, you're not living it. You're not living that shit. You're just working it and talking and sounding and saying this and saying that. Just do the work for real. Integrate that shadow. Accept those things that we would consider flaws. Accept those hidden versions of yourself and bring it out and let's be who the fuck we are. Because we all connected. You get what I'm saying? Word. Shout out once again to brother Ozell. Get well soon, brother. We miss you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to once again anybody who's got a born day today. If you've been here a while or you know you fresh out the womb, I salute you once again. Shout out to anybody who's going through some things don't nobody else know nothing about, man. And you doing the work. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for your likes, your subs, and your shares. My subscribers are going up. I appreciate y'all. I thank you for spreading the word. Some of yous. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your likes, subs, and shares, all that good stuff, man. Your comments, all of that. I appreciate all y'all. I want to thank you for listening to me babble once again. Just thank you. I missed y'all. This has been real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think I got no more. Let me look through. Let me skim through. Let me skim through. Yeah, man. That's about all I got. Once again, another happy belated Malcolm X Day. Got a couple quotes. Listen. In the words of Brother Malcolm, the late Brother Minister Malcolm. Don't be in a hurry to condemn because Don't be in a hurry to condemn because he doesn't do what you do or think as you think or as fast. There was a time when you didn't know what you know today. Brother Malcolm, if you have no critics, you'll likely have no success. You know what I'm saying? I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. That was Brother Malcolm after his pilgrimage, one of his hajjs, one of his pilgrimage. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, Brother Malcolm is also known as El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the legacy, the memory, the energy of Brother Minister Malcolm. And a happy belated Malcolm X Day. And I'm going to get out of here, man. Go ahead and watch the game. I'm the God Rashidi and I'm going to eat my food. Thank y'all for watching. I'm the God Rashidi. And this is Hoodies. Peace. Hey. This is Hoodies.